Yeah, I think Vertigo, honestly, there's no way that Fluxo can upend that kind of scoreline. Sure, 13-2 seems like a quote-unquote fluke scoreline is what we call it. Mainly, when you lose both pistol rounds, for example. But if I recall correctly, even with some pistol rounds, Made in Brazil will still be head and shoulders above Fluxo, unless we see a from ground level to very high understanding retooling of this Fluxo side. It should be a Made in Brazil waltz to Jönköping. We do have the game live and ready. Made in Brazil starting on the T side. The T side, Fluxo electing to start on the defense. We have double dualies for Chay and Lucaozy. No kit and a little bit of utility sprinkled about. Purchased up by two players, that being Safe and Exit on this attacking side. Chay playing the white boxes. VSM on the jump up. Two players here to defend B. But can they rebuke this full 5-take?
Well, there's a lot of utility to telegraph it. Chay still alive. He's not cleared out. He gets two before he falls. Exit trying to go forward. He's dropped on the side by Lucaozy. Only Safe left alone, stuck bottom stairs. No bomb, no teammates, and 4 opposing him. He should not survive this contact. And we should see Fluxo with a very good pistol round victory. Chay again in the thick of things, being successful. But all that utility dump, that heavy pressure thrown, really just let Fluxo rotate in. That's all it did.
Yeah. The telegraph.
It wasn't
Fluxo
even a
already
telegraph.
ready.
It was a giant neon sign saying we're hitting here.
This one Save is just trying to vie for one kill. Lucaozy swinging in, tagged down. He's gotten a lot of damage done to Lucaozy and Zevy. And Safe will be given that parting gift, that parting shot onto the aforementioned Zevy. But nothing more goes his way. Fluxo cap off the round. The prolonged end, but still a convincing start. They'll have a very solid second now. No bomb plant means Made in Brazil will likely save / invest into maybe a pistol or two. But you can't expect much. Just P250 for Safe, P250 for Exit. And that's all she wrote for this round in terms of investment.
All she wrote indeed, and it's a very short line. In comes the push from Lucaozy, who actually goes down. Safe still firing, but he runs out of ammunition. Now in comes the MP9s and the M4
Okay.
somehow drops got 2, and that's almost exactly what he had in the last map entirely. What a moment for him to pick up the pace. As now there's an M4 in the hands of BRN. Exit still got full HP. That does telegraph the position of 2 players, but Exit still alive and kicking. This is winnable for him. Swaps to the sidearm. Can't quite close it, but that was a full eco for MIBR. Just 2 P250s invested, and they get 4 kills out of that round. Fluxo will buy up around this, but their economy is in a very dangerous spot. 1 round victory by MIBR here swings things back into their favor. A FAMAS for PKL, utility light on him, VSM and Zevy. 1 kit as well, and a full complement of AK-47s for Made in Brazil on the other side. Plenty of utility. Now they will look to pressure towards A ramp again. 3 players pushing by Fluxo. They'll blow the smoke, but Safe still going to pick up 1 and maybe a second. It's Exit who gets the second player of PKL. But 2 kills for the price of none for MIBR, and that's just the early ramp scrim.
So this is where we saw Fluxo flounder yesterday. It was that ramp presence. They tried to fight and they lost somebody almost every single time. And it looks like they're continuing that trend here and now still not comfortable with the conventional spams, with the utility, and how to work around it, as evidenced by their loss of 2 and their finding of none. Rotation around from Made in Brazil. Fluxo at least have made the right read by doubling up here at this close angle. The question is, will it be enough? The race in comes. They don't clear the angles, and that gives Fluxo the opportunity. They do not squander it either. 4 for the price of 1. And this round is turned on its head, leaving just Insani, the man you look to shine individually in a 1v2. Has no bomb. He's rotating around, but at this point, he's expected by both Zevy and VSM. And how can he negotiate this? Both are below the stairs. Goblins down below. Eager and waiting. Insani inching forward, clearing out as many close angles as he can. Shadow spotted. Foot spotted. Ooh, the stairs, he falls. VSM gets the kill. And what was so good for Made in Brazil crumbles before Fluxo.
It's a promising start for Fluxo here, and far from it for MIBR. They are looking like a shadow of their former selves on Vertigo. Now, looking at the historic stats for Fluxo, 50% on the CT side, a paltry 45 on T. But momentum and confidence does wonders for a team, and when they have their backs against the wall, a cornered animal does tend to fight best, and right now, Fluxo are in the corner. One map lost, and they are out of this qualifier. BRN trades out PKL, the one to go down. Lucaozy still very low as well, as MIBR look to get something out of this half-buy. But Fluxo are fighting with everything they have, tooth and nail, to stay in this qualifier, push this to a third, and try and make it all the way to Jönköping. And what a comeback it would be for them after losing their map pick. BRN's lucky to be alive there after getting spotted. And MIBR content to hang around, maybe have a little bit of a picnic out on ramp.
Yes, they are. Wait things out, hope somebody gets overly aggressive. Double boost up here. They might even boost up over the smoke. I like this. Lucaozy finds one through the smoke. Boost is a little late. It says facilitate a bomb plant for drop. Oh, he must let go of it.
I think he did, yeah.
Does eventually go down, regardless. This is where the Tech9s can shine up close and personal. They're in. Dodges the flash, finds one, almost a second. VSM and Zevy, though, double down. They're safe to clutch 1v3. It is doable, albeit very improbable. Smoke down the site. Not on the bomb, though. That gives Safe the opener on the first. He knows it's not being stuck now. They're going to try and fight it as best they can. Safe finds a second, a third, a possibility. No, he can't get away. Defuse comes through, plenty of time, but Safe nearly made a round out of that.
Again, big damage from MIBR on these lackluster buys, but they have to convert it on the guns. If they don't, it's all for naught. It means nothing. And they have the op now for Safe. There won't be an op for Zevy here. He'll have an AK. Guns will be shuffled around because that CT economy, again, in the doldrums and depressions of losing players. A timeout used by MIBR, also very good early on to try and get things on the board because they need to stop this sway of rounds for Fluxo. Fluxo did well in the early going of Nuke. They're doing well in the early going here.
The issue is MIBR are still playing their game. They're just getting a little bit too in their own heads. They rotate around back towards B comes to mind. They've made something of nothing rounds. Like MIBR is still playing their own game. They're still confident. That's a very scary prospect for Fluxo, who are probably using that timeout every bit as much as MIBR are. Keep in mind, it's a 4-0 flawless start, but it's anything but clean. Every penny has been invested by Fluxo. They have an MP9 for Chay. They're lacking utility on VSM. Still plenty of time for MIBR to come back into this first half.
Plenty of time indeed, and realistically they only need about 5-6 rounds to really make it a good half. So it's not like they're out of the woods, so to speak. Or in the woods. That off from Safe, it knows somebody's towards side hall. It's the nade that does the damage. The early battle for positioning being won by Fluxo. But Safe now spots one on ramp, sees another one cross on the jump. They both survive. Safe kicks a field goal. For our South American viewers, it's these weird goalpost things that we have in American football. And if you kick it between there, you either get 3 points or 1 point, depending on the situation. It's
There's something very similar in rugby.
Rugby's, I think it's a 3-point try. But you can also just kick it from the play, as if I remember correctly.
But it is still a thing.
Yes.
Slow round. 40 seconds left. No kills on either side. Just some damage onto Exit and BRN. Smoke from Insani for the mid crunch. But PKL is doubling down. Finally, some inroads on these ramp fights. They come very late, but damage is there. Swing out from Lucaozy gets another. Safe gets a trade, but again, he's in a clutch and an unlikely one. 25 HP, op in hand, flank already sealing his fate. There's no time, but he's not going to get to save either. Chay is here. Oh, shadow spotted though. That gives Safe an opportunity to at least survive. That's something. But again, Made in Brazil, they need rounds at this stage. It's a very different Fluxo that we're seeing on Vertigo. And given how this has gone, sure, it's not clean, not pretty. Only 2 surviving almost every single round. But it's still 5 in a row with nothing for the T-side.
I don't think that Fluxo care how they're getting rounds right now. They just need the rounds. It could be as ugly and scrappy as it can be, but all they have to do is survive. This is not their home. This is far from it. They're in foreign territory, and they're just trying to fight their way through to get to Ancient, where they stand a chance, at least statistically. Because right now, they're proving that they can stand a chance on Vertigo. Another A-ramp play, good nade damage in, but BRN with the entry, swings out for more, but he's caught. Exit trades out onto Lucaozy. Bomb moving up the ramp, Safe strikes onto Zevy. That's going to open the round and probably cause a save from Chay and VSM. Insani waiting for the lurk. He's now in Drop's position of getting bullied, as he's yet to open his account in this one. Bomb goes down on A, and Chay and VSM are going for this retake, at least tentatively. They're going to try and get another kill in before they save. No, they call it quits now, just trying to get an extra bit of damage. They could have gotten that to a 2v2. They'd probably go for it. But without the utility, they fall away.
You get the pick in the first 10 seconds, you go for it. But you set a hard limit. That's where you call. That's where you cut ties. That's where you fall back. Fluxo, wise to the tricks, wise to the late flanks and the rotations from Insani in middle, punishing him in the early goings. We'll see if that trend continues. And Made in Brazil, said it earlier, at that time for Fluxo, this time I'm going to say for Made in Brazil, keep it simple. Go for those trades out ramp. It worked out incredibly well there. Scaled you into an A-site take. Simple plays like that. Don't do this back and forth thing because Fluxo might just stack the site you're going towards. Just trade out, keep the fights going, and rely on your comfortability and your individuals, I think, is another big thing, because the individuals from Made in Brazil definitely shined through yesterday.
They need to string 2 together. String rounds together is the start of a comeback. This is exactly what MIBR was able to do on Nuke. They got rounds together to bring it back. Utility going up and down, going in. Drop. Sprays away. Utility going up, but no real contact made. Some pressure towards B. And the way that MIBR has been playing, whichever direction they show presence, they go. PKL and Lucaozy thinking about going aggressive on ramp. There is a little bit of presence here from MIBR as well. But they're waiting for pushes, which have not been granted. Fluxo swapping things up on the defense a little bit. Getting a lot less aggressive, playing with their advantages. Going for the triple boost up. They're spotted, however, and a dink on the PKL too. More damage delivered onto VSM, but Lucaozy has the opener onto exit. Rotations coming to the A site as well. Flash is going to get a ramp push from 2, and it yields kills for VSM, and a 3v2 for MIBR. Insani with the Molotov to try and get that down. Buying space and time, but he has the bomb, and Drop has contact at green. Pushes forward, Chay's gone down, and Insani's got to get out of dodge and a run to B. He's got just enough time, and the rotations from Fluxo should actually beat him as they're going knife out in towards middle. Now they get their guns ready. Drops in a good spot in CT. The time on the clock very low. The lack of Molotovs, smokes for doesn't hurt them. Shadow shows, Drop shoots prematurely, and it's up to Insani now in the 1v2.
0 kills prior to this round. He's got a second now and a third potentially. Knows he's there. Doesn't quite hit the shot yet. Swings out, gets the spray. Insani, a time to come alive. Secures a second for Made in Brazil. And that was a tenuous round, a topsy-turvy one. You can tell Fluxo have learned a lot from yesterday's match. They're wise to this late flank. They know that Made in Brazil always keep a second avenue open. But in the end, Made in Brazil still showing us their tremendous fluency with the speak of Vertigo. Very well done to come back into that one. And Insani, what a time to come alive. It's going to be pistols, a full save from Fluxo. Stack towards B. Hopes that the numbers can snowball into a gun and potentially something more.
Drops heard the sound and he's waiting for it, but that snowball down B has faded away. They're rotating over to the A site now, going for strength in numbers. It's a very viable stratagem. MIBR going back to B here. Dropping safe and everybody else all grouping up. And Fluxo, they might just start pushing. They've got one through mid. That's going to be Zevy. He's hearing this information. The call's got to go back soon. It's B hit.
Top donut. What do we call it? Donut or Halo? A big
like
circle
donut.
around T-spawn.
Although Halo is more accurate to what it's doing. I'm just hungry, and so donut sounds better.
True. Donnie holding for this flank. He's going to be greeted by a flurry of players. A triple spray before finally falling. And safe combines with exit to ensure no rifles are recovered. No hijinks can occur. This one player loss is very good, all things considered, for Made in Brazil. They are now tearing their way towards a tied ball game. Only 2 rounds separating these teams. We're going to have a mirrored buy for the most part. Full M4s versus full AKs. The difference maker is the fact there's lackluster utility for Fluxo, and importantly, no kit for the CT side.
That's very important, the lack of a kit for the CT side. We've been seeing the bomb going down more and more often for MIBR, a kit being the defining factor in a round win for Fluxo as well. And a nade thrown down. The kills are going through. Drop does take out VSM on side hall, and he's going to try for more. He's got a second too before the nade finishes him off. Only one player towards B. That's Chay in CT. He might just get caught. Utility going through. Do they clear him out? He spots out one. They do not clear him first, but they do have him second time of asking. Rotations are fast from Fluxo. Molotov drop to try and stall that push, but Zevy goes through the fire and the flames. Safe swings for one, and he should have spotted the last as well. He's got the right idea. Volley out, he's done. He's toast. He's fried, just like a donut. And it's Lucaozy to finish the job. 6-3 for Fluxo, at least getting half of the half on the board on the CT side of things. And of course, only one player surviving. Their money's in the dumpster, but it's not fantastic for MIBR either.
No, it's not, but Safe can pull out his op. AK is going to be dropped around. A little bit finagling. Drop is the only one compromised on a Galil. Fluxo's buys far more haphazard. MP9 for loss. No op. You at least have the kit, though. Chay, bringing out that precious piece of utility. Another slower one. One player lurking B. Couple showing presence towards ramp. Safe's turn to get activated on the op.
Ask and you shall receive, Nate.
Nerf found. Needs more, though. Interesting he's gone for the op. He was feeling so hot on the rifle, yet he still elects to go for it. We'll see if he can continue to find impact.
He liked
Immediate
those
rotation.
ramp picks last night.
He did. Only one smoke, no Molotov left for Fluxo. They're going to re-aggress ramp. This crunch could be deadly, especially with that jump up. Lucaozy, though, beheaded by exit. Good trade from Chay, and Zevy as well chiming in. 3v2. Safe does swap to that rifle. It's a Galil. He'll find one, but the nade of Chay does him away. Where's the bomb?
It's got to be down ramp somewhere.
That's where it's always glitched on the map. You're right.
Vertigo is always weird.
Insani, 1v2. He's woken up. He's caught up to the team for the most part as well.
Yeah, he's actually tied for second.
The win here would be critical in this comeback. Would pave the way to a fourth and a fifth. Shows these players are so entrenched. 15 seconds left. Walks into the angle.
That's
passes the
good.
first test. So many angles where the second could be, though. There's this little cubby. Yep.
Oof.
Again, Insani caught pulling the knife out. He's done that before. I believe it was on Nuke.
He did that again here, too.
Unfortunate. Fluxo a guaranteed lead heading into the second half, regardless of what transpires from here.
It should be a
They're gonna have
strong
some-
lead, too.
They're going to get to establish an 8th here, more than likely, given the lackluster money of Made in Brazil, who've been compelled into a second tactical timeout in this first half.
And it's going to go into a half by 2. There's just been nothing sticking for MIBR. These little mistakes are being made, and it's amounting to a massive amount of round losses. This score should honestly be in MIBR's favor. But they've made mistakes that cost them rounds. It's a completely different MIBR from what we saw last night. And it seems that the mistakes they made on Nuke are being multiplied here. Makes it even worse.
Yes, it does.
Hero AK, Tech 9, 2 Glocks, and a P250. About as bargain buy as you get. Heading to Dollar Tree. Nade goes down. PKL's got the opening on the SMG. That's one of the Glocks. It's not a great kill, but it's money for the CTs. Lucaozy's got the spray on the AK, and he's continuing to pressure forward, supported by PKL upside home. Now electing to back off as the AK was dropped, and so is dropped. Safe only 1, and insani on the Glock. Nothing he can do here. Maybe one little peekaboo, but he's not going to be around too long. He'll be sent packing. So 8 rounds minimum, a potential 9-3 lead. A pistol round victory for them on the second half just about ships us to Ancient. What a domineering swap of effects, of results, of everything for Fluxo. Backs against the wall, the pressure not making them play worse, only making them play better.
If there's a map where I was surefire, cocksure in my prediction, it was Vertigo.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
But I was too, so.
Unreal.
Yeah.
The change in performance from Fluxo. Much more vigilant, much more aware that Made in Brazil keep all their avenues of approach open. And much tighter as a unit overall from Fluxo. Using those nades to peek more aggressively. And they're just finding this gap. VSM has again slipped it towards top donut. Nade so punishing. That's a free kill onto insani, who again has been kind of just bullied in this map. 4v5 and a lot of map control ceded to that player pushing middle. BRN drop safe all around half HP as well. There's nothing going the way of Made in Brazil. It looks like a 9th. Very well on the cards for Fluxo.
That would be a scoreline. 9-3 half for Fluxo. Going into the T side, yes, MIBR could mount a stalwart defense that can turn the tide and get them a win, but 9 rounds is hard to overcome. It's a very dominant scoreline. 1 trade back, but BRN low on health. Time is there, but MIBR have to be careful not to run this clock down too far. They don't have utility left, just to smoke a molly and a flash. Same could be said, there's 0 utility for the CTs, but Fluxo have been winning every fight. 3 players, double-digit kills. Lucaozy just behind at 9. PKL, the IGL at 7. Everything's looking good for Fluxo. And MIBR have failed to get anything going significantly. BRN walking up. They've not used any of that utility yet. Safe has it all in his person. Now it comes in, BRN 1, drop trades. Lucaozy gets his 10th. All to Safe in the 1v3. He's not going to clear Pillar. He won't clear Pillar. There's no time. And Chay goes for the BM. Knife in the back. A 9-3 half as we hit the break.
We prophesied a swift end for Fluxo in a swift 2-0 fashion, given their lackluster performance on Nuke, and yet it appears we couldn't be more wrong. Fluxo, a commanding lead 9-3 at the end of their first half of Vertigo. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action on this second map, and if Fluxo take this pistol, we might not have long left on this map. We might be sent to the ruins of Ancient sooner rather than later.
We might be over to Ancient pretty quick here unless Drop and company can hold this push off, but Chay goes up and goes big time with the 2 headshots on the Glock. He's been a big moment player and he's leading the charge for Fluxo here. Chay still hanging around, but it's Lucaozy's turn to get on the scoreboard in the second half of the bomb. Ticks away. Safe, BRN, locked out, and now Safe's alone. No casualties, barely any damage taken. Fluxo are ready for Ancient, and boy, were they ready for Vertigo. There's nothing MIBR have done to stop the onslaught.
Individual's been quiet. Sure, we've had a better performance from Drop than the first map. Safe has been doing very well at 14. He's actually second in the server, but across the board, they've been floundering, they've been failing, they've been playing too disparate from one another. They've not been playing as a core. Made in Brazil. At this point, I would be looking towards Ancient. They're going to boost up. It's going to be a full save. 11-3 secured for Fluxo, all but guaranteed. Made in Brazil made these rounds close, at least in the first half, but can't imagine much here in the second.
Vertigo version of the Astralis stack is dealt with as perfectly as possible by Fluxo. Only one surviving Made in Brazil member left, ERN. He will be run down with a MAC-10 of VSM. 2 rounds to go. And Fluxo looking to return the favor that MIBR gave them last night. Map 3 looming. MIBR powerless to stop it. Unless they can put an end to it now. They're down by 8. It would take a miracle.
Yes, it would. It'd take this round and the next and the next and the next, like 4 or 5 in a row to really in earnest come back into this.
I would need them to be at 10 rounds before I even contemplated being realistic. And Drop goes big for 3. He's down the stairwell, but he cannot get the 4th. Out of ammunition on the A1S. Zevy misses the headshot. Safe deals with him. Opper on Opper using the rifles. PKL the last alive. MIBR trying to find something to hang on to. They cannot afford to lose another player either. Aggressive fight! That's costly. It opens up PKL's comeback too. To try and 1v3 this. He's done half damage to BRN. Does not have the bomb. It's probably somewhere along the ledge. Yeah, just on the top of stairs. Smoke might enable him to get there.
They're gonna fight around it. Swing comes in there. The lack of HP does him in. Exit shown. The door to PKL. And Made in Brazil. They put their foot down. Critical juncture, but they need to put their foot down a couple more times in order to actually, in earnest, come back into this. You can see some heroics there, though, above the smoke from Drop. Individuals can awaken, I'll believe, but Fluxo still have a buy on board. Still even for both teams, relatively speaking. AKs into Galil versus A1Ss. Not going to be easy for Made in Brazil, but there was a team that could come back from this kind of stifling lead. It would be a team on the CT side.
A blind entry from Drop as he retreats to green. He's still alive and kicking as well. Has some support up top from Insani. Last 4 players of Fluxo pushing forward. There's a nice one from Insani. He'll move forward as well and drop down. 5v3. Lucaozy dropping all the way out for a retreat. Plenty of time to make a play towards A. And I think MIBR is starting to realize that too. PKL is just a human decoy. And he needs to be careful not to get caught out because MIBR have the players to not buy this fake hook, line, and sinker. They can hold.
MPKL daring, goading made in Brazil to go for a.
Are they sending Lucaozy mid? No, he's coming back.
He's coming back. He's got the bomb. Hoping for some sort of peek, but of course, made in Brazil aren't biting that. Smoke will be thrown for left side Jenny. Drops ahead of it though. Surely he's cleared. Holding. Looks forward. Can't get it. Good peek from PKL. Trade from Insani though. Swift. Low cross. Insani can't get the first. Good trades across the board, and the trades simply favor the team with more players. However, that round went from a convincing one to a costly one for Made in Brazil. 3 of the 5 falling. They're going to have to reinvest most of their gains into this one as well. Fluxo, though, prevented from getting that bomb down. They're going to be on a save, and this should give Made in Brazil the breathing room they need to begin that economic groundwork. Begin building that economic groundwork, I should say.
Well, there's an 8 kill to start things off, as luckily for MIBR, they don't have to deal with a full buy from Fluke, so it's not even a half. It's just light pistols picked up by the T's. MIBR need to win this one clean, because that economic battle, not going their way. Never goes the way of the CTs. You can keep winning rounds consistently and never be out of the woodwork. And there's a nice little double tap from Insani. No SMG, so no extra money gathering ability for Made in Brazil. But they just need to be careful. Don't die. It's pretty much all they have to do, is don't die. They'll be fine.
No need for aggression. You know it's pistols. You know there's no armor behind it. Hold your lines.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're doing. Makes for a less than ideal mid-round when Fluxo want to slow things down, but playing it by the books, as we mentioned. Made in Brazil yesterday. Takeaway was business-like. Doing their due diligence. There's a peek. Tony heard the steps, though.
Dink.
And he's gone.
Yep.
Kobe.
Well, since we'll probably have a little bit of time, you want to hear a fun fact about donuts?
Yes.
They technically have the same sugar content. Well, 3 donuts have the same sugar content as a soda.
Which kind of soda?
Like a Coke.
Coke, so like 60 grams of sugar?
Roughly. Around there, yeah.
It's like 57 or 56 if I know my Coke. Or it's a lot of sugar.
Yeah. And it makes you really consider that donuts are not actually that unhealthy compared to soda.
Well, they have carbs, and carbs become sugar.
Yes. But
sugar is just glucose, but
the sugar count, you're roughly at like 1. If you want to factor the carbs in there too, you're probably at like 1.5, 2 donuts per soda.
This is why I don't drink soda.
I don't either.
Ramp duel, kind of stock standard. Slow start for Fluxo. Got the rifles back in hand, but a lot to do still for Made in Brazil. Don't want to go for anything wacky and zany, overtly risky. Can't afford to give anything away at this stage.
Oh, they gave away 1. Lucaozy traded, but with nade in hand, Safe gets dinked. And he is dropped. Utility flying into the A site as Fluxo are ready to put the final 2 nails in the MIBR coffin. Exit and Insani beginning to push. Exit with a critical win. Insani there as well. Exit and Insani a pair apiece. And they've come back and salvaged things for MIBR. They lost the opener. They pull it back to a 7th. Timeout finally forced out by Fluxo. And MIBR able to gain a little bit of economic respite on 3. Drop Exit and Insani 4K or above. And Fluxo back on a half buy. Big moves from MIBR, but they still only have 1 round as margin for error. They're walking the tightrope.
Thinnest of margins. What does this buy from Fluxo? A lot of utility, but no bark to back up the bite.
No bark at all. Or no bite to
There's
back
some
up the
pistols.
bark, maybe.
There's some pistols at least. It was like nothing. Got some deagles. Or, yeah, some deagles, some Tech 9s, and a P250. That's something at least. I thought it was going to be Glocks.
Glocks
Utility.
would be inadvisable.
Would have been funny.
We've seen some Glock rounds before. Not
Yeah,
very
but
often, but it does happen.
when do you ever see Glocks with utility? That's my big takeaway. Like that much utility that they had.
Yep.
Main goal for Fluxo is to just do damage, honestly.
Yeah, get a bomb plant, get killed.
They did a good job of pruning the CT economy. So if they can continue to do so, it'll give them a real chance to just string 2 rounds together. This round, though, doesn't look like much of any damage being done. VSM the last alive. Very well done drop. It's a little bit slow on that start, but his teammates back him up when needed. Only 1 casualty. Very good, within acceptable limits by a mile. In Brazil at 8 now. Stringing together a fair few rounds to get to this point.
They've strung together 5. They're still down by 3. It's close, but not close enough yet. 9, 10. That's where we get talking. 11. Things get even better. The nades have not really been connecting for either team. We've seen a lot of nades bounce back and hit either the thrower or a teammate of the thrower quite often in this series. And going back to yesterday as well, we've seen it throughout all 4 matches we've seen. MIBR using a lot of their utility early, not really gaining any information off of it. That flash, just a little bit of a stall. Insani's got to be careful not to get picked off, and he falls off at the right possible time. The last moment. Silent drop down for VSM to get out of mid. 3 players with the bomb. A rotation in from safe as well. He'll make contact, but he gets destroyed on the initial push. I don't know if he saw the bomb, though.
He saw 2. I think the bomb was out there. In Brazil, defense is beginning to get strung out a bit. Paranoid, Elevator, and a ERN. The one to be tested. They got hard clear. Does he get the first kill? The answer is no. 2-minute advantage secured by Fluxo. Slowing things down might be the winning recipe. And PKL is still lurking in middle as well. Execute nades being thrown. Good peek from Insani, or through the smoke he'll find one. Plant, though, cannot be stopped. Player back sandbags finds one. Lucaozy spamming, actually doubles instead from side hall. Drop the last. On this flank through B. At this point, he has no horse in this race. It looks like at long last, Fluxo will secure their 12th. Drop can save this gun for the following. It won't do too much, but doesn't really stand a chance in this one. He's too far removed.
Too far gone. He doesn't really have a lot of money either. So he'll be able to get full utility because he saves here. Everyone else can buy up. Exit can drop safe and off if they want to go for that play, which I would say is probably the right call. They cannot afford to lose another round now. They need 4 in a row. Or we head to Ancient. A little more even between these 2 teams as well as far as map stats are concerned. But momentum beginning to really favor Fluxo. Their confidence is back. They're winning the individual fights. Lucaozy, Chay, VSM, Zevy, all 4 of them doing incredibly well. BRN on 5 kills for MIBR. Another silent member. Drop this time, picks off the entry, and drops a nade. 2 nades on Zevy. He's down low, but still alive and kicking. Still a great start for MIBR. Again, they cannot afford to lose another round. They need 4 for overtime. Side hall fight goes the way of BRN.
In Brazil. Axe literally against the walls here on map number 2. Wanting to put it to bed in a clean sweep like they did yesterday. 5v3 secured, just crossing that minute mark at this stage. Final trio. BSM, EKL, Zevy. All the way back towards spawn. They might even be saving at this point. Seems like they are. Quite a call to make it a minute left in the round, but you're down 5 versus 3 and your money is as it is, and you have a full utility belt as well. Guess it is the right call. Doesn't look like there'll be too much of a challenge either from mid in Brazil, who are happy to build up their own bank with a flawless victory.
Interesting save call from Fluxo. Zevy can drop 1. Galil over to the next, if necessary.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, Zevy will drop Lucaozy. Chay can buy on his own. Good timeout used by Fluxo as well. They don't want to let this string out longer than it needs to. It's become a war of attrition for them as well, already having played an earlier series today. MIBR fresh. Not like that freshness has really given them an advantage, though, in this series.
No, it hasn't. It's been like it on map number 1 and 2. It's BRN's turn to be quiet.
But he's done a little more than his teammate on the last map. I don't want to continue harping on that particular player at this point in time.
No, you don't want to. You're right. Look at the negatives, look at the positives. He's woken up now.
He's doing pretty darn good this map.
Wasn't as required in the last either.
No, he wasn't. It would have been nice, but he wasn't needed. And that's the end of the story. He stepped up now, and that's what matters.
When they're on the back foot. Fluxo, full AK is good utility. MIBR still have that op in play for safe. Where is he gone with that weapon? Ooh, I'm not too sure. Regardless, the fight again comes ramp. Zevy through the smoke catches BRN. Again, he's just getting bullied. Able to find something around the smokes. Fluxo emerged with the advantage. Safe has come back to take up his teammate's stead with side hall, but Fluxo have rotated around. It's now the second part of their default. A walk upstairs, one spotted, drop spam, just doesn't connect though, and this player on top of the scaffolding, or top of the handrail, excuse me, finds the kill running through the smoke, or walking through it rather. That's the site taken. 2 kills for the price of none. And bomb now hitting the ground. Nade towards PKL does a lot of damage, but doesn't get the kill. Chay, so much control and so much utility to just stall out time. Insani has to have an out-of-his-mind performance. He finds one. Support for a second. VSM does trade. Still an advantage for Fluxo. Lucaozy on this flank, so timely. Leaving just Insani. He's found the first. He knows there's a second towards the stairs. Does he expect to close Cubby? And can he get the kill quickly enough? That's the question. Lucaozy drops Jenny. Distracts the player. Insani, time so far gone. Less than 10 left. He finds the first. The second, though, not expected. The stick is going to come through. VSM swings at the right time. And Fluxo are going to send us off to that third and final decider.
What a map from Fluxo. Their CT side gave them the foundation to pull it over the line. They took both pistols and never looked back. It got a little messy there on the 5-round streak for MIBR.